was created for this. Yeah, I've been waiting on this. I'm taking my shot, I won't miss. Taking my shot, it's gon' switch. I know this is God's plan, I won't quit. This is His plan, I won't quit. I was created for this. Yeah, I've been waiting on this. Second guessing is over. I'm getting closer. Every door that was shut, heaven is open. Closed captions on every word spoken. Watching my words cause I'm chosen. And I cannot fail to commit. This is my time and I know it. I gotta show shine brightest in the moonlight. Shine brightest in the nighttime. Been waiting on my time.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Ascendant Astrology, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I will be discussing the uh, Capricorn full moon happening on June 21st at 1 degree. This is kind of kicking off the summer. It happens the day after the summer solstice. For Cancer season. And this will be the first of two moons in Capricorn, which makes the second one a blue moon at 29 degrees that will square Pluto and Aquarius. And so whatever's kind of coming up and happening between these two Capricorn moons and November of this year will be pretty prominent. Because Pluto will retrograde back into Capricorn in the month of November for about a month. That's going to bring all this, whatever's coming up now, to some kind of completion. I do think it'll be carried out through Pluto and Aquarius because Aquarius's ancient ruler is Saturn as well, but it's also ruled by Uranus, and so it could be a lot more chaotic and unexpected shocking surprises. It can be more like a wild card energy with Aquarius as opposed to Saturn, which is more oppressive energy that, what are these kind of structures and systems, business and things that suppress us and don't really allow us to grow and evolve. Those things are changing and transforming in a really, really big way. This is huge. This is really like a time to get your that one opportunity. I don't know why I just heard Eminem's song. You only got one. I don't even remember the lyrics. One opportunity to get in there and make your grand stand and you know um take that leadership role or take some kind of control of your life. With Pluto, this is more personal empowerment too, Who are you really? And what are you meant to do at your deepest desires? And how can you bring that into form and live in a line with your greatest self? That's what this time is really all about. So, you know, unfortunately, we'll see more um, businesses and structures kind of fall and collapse, people in power fall and collapse. And um, we're going to see the fall of like having this over idealization of fame and famous people. We'll see more people in fame collapse with Pluto and Aquarius. It's going to be eye-opening and like, damn, I never knew all this stuff was going on. There's going to be a lot of stuff that kind of comes to the surface that helps you switch and change into this, um, deeper reflection of self and who you look up to and following that new path. And what does that look like for you, and how are you going to build that? And so full moons are a time for endings, but again, because it's at 1 degree, just as something's ending, something else new is coming in. Full moons are also when the sun and moon are opposing each other. So you want to think back 6 months, um, when we had the new moon in Capricorn. What was happening for you? And what are you keeping from that? What are you letting go of that? And what are you continuously building and getting into some kind of structure or system around that? And I'll come back on here to talk about the other full moon when it happens, obviously, but just to think about it, that other Capricorn moon is going to be an 18-year transit. It's going to be a little bit bigger and more likely relative to societal changes and norms. So, but yeah. So the sun in Cancer is going to highlight Cancer themes, home, family, your roots, your past, your culture, your heritage, where you come from, your homeland, um, the past, nostalgia, memories, reminiscent. Remember when this used to be a thing and it's not even that anymore, type of energy. This could be like family reunions and family get-togethers and celebrations. This could be buying a home, selling a home, or investing in real estate. Or, this is buying more than one property. You could be buying one property where you live or for where you live and buying another property to in another place for, other people to live. Um, um, this is your parents. I'm talking about the sun and the moon. So, your parents having to take care of parents, care for parents, or getting advice. Again, looking up to your parents. Reminiscing, just going down memory lane. What was it like for your parents? I like to think of this as, especially with Jupiter and Gemini sitting at the feet of the elderly, is the best education in the world. And so learning from your past and the people who came before you could be like blessings at this time, having these kinds of conversations about the past and what you've been through, where you've come, how far you've come, and things like that. This is the mark of uh, America's birthday, right? 4th of July. Um, and so especially for that other Capricorn moon. There's going to be a lot more information being revealed about where exactly America is with a lot of the things that are kind of breaking down and falling apart, if you will. And they're also having a lot of planetary returns, right? And so Um, I'm not looking at the chart. I can't really remember off the tippity top of my head, but let's just say, for an example, America has Jupiter and Gemini. They're having a Jupiter return. They have, I think, if I'm not mistaken, there were at least four happening simultaneously, planetary returns in the American chart, in their birth chart. And so, this is a lot of reflecting around the country and what we've done great and what we need to work on and what we could do better and how we're going to evolve from that. That's going to be interesting. Especially with this being a presidential election year. Well, not this year, but the start of the promoting and all that crap for it. So uh This is I think it's gonna be a shit show, to be quite frank. I mean, it always is, but I think it's gonna be an even bigger shit show, just to be quite frank. But um, yeah, there's also gonna be a stellium of planets in Cancer. That's Venus and Mercury. I talked about the sun. And I feel like there's more. But Venus rules love, values, beauty, and relationships, and Mercury rules communication. Together, this can be, being proud of where you come from, what your grandparents have, um, what they've accomplished or what they've done, or whatever ground foundations they've set for their people, their family coming at generations after them. Um, this is you being proud of your home and your family, and what you've built together and how far you've come. But oppositions are a challenging aspect, and it's especially challenging for relationships. Now, because it's the moon, this could be your feelings towards relationships. It doesn't necessarily have to be in relation to another person, per se. It could just be how you feel about relationships in general, how you feel about your family in general, how you feel about this world in general, you know, um, how you feel about, um, you know, your safety and security, in your private life. This could be just how you feel about these topics that come up in this video when we're talking about the moon. And then the moon also rules the public opinion on how they feel about these themes. And so there could be a lot of media, announcements and communication and posts and, information on the state of America and where we stand and how much we've accomplished or the lack thereof, you know. Um, it could be things like that. Um, mm, yeah. Since we're talking about safety, security in our private life, and everything that you build around that comes with some kind of responsibility, especially when we're talking about Capricorn themes. And so there could be some, you know, opposition, oppositional feelings around your responsibility around these themes, having to take care of a family, the responsibility of owning a home, or, again, having to take care of a parent, or, maybe you feel like it's your job to keep the family together, whatever role you play in your family life. Um, maybe you're the one who always have to plan things, and it's like, I'm ready to pass the baton now. Maybe you're a family who always does come together and has family reunions and get-togethers and things of that nature. And um, it can feel burdensome to always be responsible to have to do that. Or maybe, this is somebody who does that and they're aging out, right? And they're getting too old. They're like, it's time for the young ones to pick it up now. Who's it going to be? There could be conversations like that, realizations like, damn, grandma's getting kind of old. She's usually always the one who plans these things, and I don't know if she can do it anymore. And so who's going to step up to the plate to carry on that torch? Or is it going to die? Is it going to end? Is it something that's going to be non-existent, which I think we see a lot more of, unfortunately, today uh, than not. That's obviously not going to be everybody's story, but it is a pretty constant theme that happens. And so that could be something that's coming up. Capricorn is a cardinal earth sign. It's ruled by Saturn, and Saturn will be direct for this full moon, but the other moon in Capricorn, it will be retrograde, which makes this all even more intense than just the fact that it'll be square Pluto. It almost could seem as if we really aren't going to have the support from Saturn. So right now, get active, get super, 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 super focused and intentional on whatever goals you have, because come that full moon, you might feel a little like, you don't want to do it. And Saturn, when Saturn does turn direct at the end of the year, when we have that, when Pluto moves back into Capricorn for a little while, Saturn is going to come back and take attendance. Like, did you show up for yourself still? Did you, make those phone calls and meet with those people and make your lists and keep up with your responsibilities? And depending on where you're at in that process, Saturn gives gifts and he will reward you, and you'll see the benefits of those gifts if you do not. Saturn does not mind telling you about yourself and showing you, and you will feel it, you know. Um, this could be feelings of like, I could have done better. Uh, I wish I would have did this. Uh, I'm not that great of a, it kind of can be like beating yourself up for not doing all the things that you could have done over the summer that could have prepared you for a breakthrough in some kind of way come the end of the year, right? And so take this full moon to really, really sit down and reflect. What do you want for your life? And this isn't about a rush. You don't even necessarily have to complete things, but a thought process would be uh, thoughts process would even be considered as doing work. Even healing, that could be healing. You could be at this place in your life already where you're like, I'm gonna have to really sit back and think about how I really feel about being a leader or taking some kind of leadership role or being responsible or showing up for other people in whatever capacity in your life. Um and so reflection and doing some internal healing and deep um, work within yourself is considered doing the work. That is a part of the process. So this isn't to encourage beating yourself up in any kind of way, despite whatever it is you're going through. It's all hard. Even if you're considered somebody who is successful, you have good days and bad days. You're not going to show up at your best every day, but as long as you do something for yourself, um, that's enough, right? Um, and on the opposite end of that, you can be depressed and whatever. But if you stay in it, it's just going to be a cycle that needs to be broken until you get ready to do that. Or take initiative to go get some help, speak to somebody, talk to somebody, start taking care of your health, drinking more water, eating healthier, working out. Um, until you start taking care of yourself, what Saturn can do is it can erode that process. It's almost like aging you before your time. Whether you're old or young, it doesn't really matter. You could just start to feel like you might even find yourself saying stuff like, I'm too old for this shit. And you're like 30. That's a clear indication of somebody who needs to slow it down, pipe it down, do some reflecting, do some internal work, do some healing, and really take care of yourself, attend to yourself, seek help, find some other vocabulary that I'm getting too old and, you know, turn that into something more positive. And so it really depends on where everybody's going to be in different places and spaces with this energy. It just depends. It can look different for everybody. But definitely a lot of things are going to be ending, but there's also new beginnings. This is a great time to look at your achievements and goals because that's another theme that Capricorn rules. Um, and this could again just be the planning process. You don't necessarily have to put anything into place, especially with the support of Jupiter and Gemini. Remember, Gemini can be like a trial period, right? And so you could still be behind the scenes trying different things until you feel comfortable with it. But as long as you're working on it and you're doing something with it, it will come to manifest in the physical realm, however you see fit. Um, so this could also be about balancing our emotions and being practical. Um, Saturn also rules responsibility and commitment. And so this is a great time to assess ambition in your career. Are you happy where you at? Um, if not, making sure you're doing all the things that you can to find a job where you will be happy. Um, and then, the sacrifice and responsibility is that unfortunately you might have to stay at a place until you find something new. And if you can't, likewise, at least it's like kind of be sure that you have some money to fall back on so you're not struggling. I mean, you'll be struggling, but not that bad. These are the types of things that Capricorn wants you to think of. And it's going to be even more enforced with Mars and Taurus, because Mars is our motivation. So we're motivated towards stability, peace, and comfort. And those things come with money most of the time, right? And so making sure you have savings for a rainy day or things put away. So if you need to take time off, you're not, again, not struggling, but you're comfortable, right? And Taurus is okay with that. Taurus can live with that. And so you might be motivated to set these types of things up moving forward in your life, or learning how to do those and where you can go to get more information to do that kind of stuff, right? And so that's going to be, uh, that could be a really big theme that's being played out at this time. If you're considering leaving a job, or maybe this is about asking for that promotion or raise. That could also be a theme as well. Um, this could be about asking yourself, how do you want to be known and what do you want to be known for? What's your legacy? What do you plan on leaving behind? Um, when you leave. And when you leave doesn't always necessarily have to be predicated to death or after death. Um, this could also be when you leave a job. What do you want people to remember the most about you? How do you want to set yourself up in that job? Um, what do you want them to see about you? And kind of formulating those ideas on how you're going to carry yourself through that process. This could be the same for family, friends, and your parents. Or if you want them to be proud of you, what does that look like? Who do you look up? Who are your role models and mentors, and what are you doing to show them that their time and information hasn't gone unheard or unseen through your ambitions and achievements and goals and things of that nature. Um, you know, Working on those things or thinking about those things could all be beneficial things to do during this time. And then responsibility and discipline, taking responsibility for achieving your goals, attending meetings, meeting deadlines, and showing up for yourself, making time to do whatever you need to do to achieve your goals and being disciplined on that. Um, Saturn really likes stuff like that when you show up, when you do what you said you was gonna do and don't back down. Or even if you do back down, it's like as simple as, hey, something else come up. I know we had plans to do this, but I think, right now my intuition or life is pushing me this way. Um, I think this came up in the Taurus new moon too, where Taurus has that connection to Uranus because Uranus is currently in Taurus, and that conversation was more like, you don't have time to explain. Sometimes life is life and it's happening. It's like if you don't get on that boat, um, and you don't shift with that shift, you can miss a misstep. Or I don't really believe that anybody can miss out on opportunities because all these kinds of transits come back around. Not every single time, but for the most part, they all do. And so there's always opportunities to come back, but Uranus energy is like a lightning strike. I'm thinking of the show that I watch. Monk. I tell you guys about this all the time. That's all I watch. And I think it was the episode when the dude was like a fashion person or whatever, and he like hired models to do fashion shows or something. And he was asking one of the little girls to come over, like, who are you? What's your name? And he wanted her to walk, do like a walk up and down and come back. And the little girl's looking at him like, why? He was like, because lightning might be striking. You might be about to become famous, or, it's your moment. It's that moment. And you would feel it, you would know. But it's kind of like in the one of those in the moment type of things where it's like, oh shoot, I really got to get up and get going. And so because that was a theme for the Taurus new moon, you can have a lot of people ready now coming back saying, hey, it got tough, life was happening, and I had to do some things. Sorry, I haven't really been attentive, or I never got back to you. Stuff was going on, and I had to do that, and just stuff just kept going on. Right? It was a crazy time. It's been a crazy time. There has been some stuff going on, and you have to attend to those things. And some of those things might have not felt so damn good, especially with Uranus being in Taurus. It's like, this is very uncomfortable. Taurus does not like change. It's not something that comes natural to them. They want to take their time and really think things through before they make a decision on something. And when they're forced to do it otherwise, it's like, well, I don't really want to talk to anybody until I figure out my shit? Um, and so a lot of those things could have been going on. It's just not really the time to be stopping and explaining yourself. It's more like, you know, I just got to do me right now. Either you understand or you don't, right? And so a lot of that with this energy could be coming back, especially with Mars in the sign of Taurus. Is like, hey, because these are the things that Taurus wants, is comfort, peace, responsibility, accountability, slow movements and action and well thought out responses and decisions, and the saving of money and for a rainy day, at least considering it's going to help with those kind of tourist themes that were coming up that were attended to, were shaken up, and you might have a little bit more stability here, be a little bit more grounded here to talk about those things now. What happened? What was going on? Things like that. So this could be a lot of people coming back into your life to say, shit, man, I've been on a ride, like just, you know, cruising with the wind and whatever, whatnot. And it be like that sometimes. And so, structure and stability, uh, being disciplined, um, something you've probably learned since then up until now, what it takes to do it, how much energy it takes. Can you move forward in the way that you were when you started, or is that slowing down with Mars and Taurus? Are you thinking things through now, not just jumping to conclusions or making quick, fast decisions, and then probably most likely regretting it afterwards? Or again, because now Jupiter's in Gemini, it's like, fuck, that experiment didn't work. Let me go back, try it again. It could be stuff like that, but um, either way, however this is coming up for you, um, I think structure and stability, you'll have the support to build something better and stronger. Um, Taurus is like building block brick by brick until you have a solid foundation. And that's a beautiful place to be with all these kinds of energies. I think I've been saying it. I am like amazed at it's almost like Spirit Ben had this time planned. It's one of those moments where you see it super clearly. Like I think we say that all the time, but these are one of those times where it's like, bitch, you don't know I needed this break, this slow down, this momentum where I can kind of flow and build brick by brick, right? Um, Kind of like you getting a second chance. I feel like I said that already, but it's just what it is, right? And so I think that's going to be amazing. This could also be authority and leadership in government, or people in governments, or people in power, uh, or elderly or older generations. Uh, and so you can be taking a leadership or taking leadership in your life in some way to resolve or fix something, or you can see these themes happening in your life. Like again, at work, you might see some people stepping down and other people stepping up. Maybe a parent, they don't necessarily have to be passing away, but they're just getting older. They move slower. They don't really have the energy to do the moving, but they can guide, they can sit and tell you, yeah, put that there and put that there, but who's gonna take that role, kind of sort of. Um, um, Leadership that is already in place could be stepping up and taking a accountability and being more proactive in their leadership roles at this time to resolve problems and fix things. Um, yeah, this could be public life in society. There can be a focus on societal structures, again, government leaders and CEOs. We can hear a lot of stuff about economic stability, um, a lot of information from economists about job numbers and the budgets. That's going to be a really, really, really big theme. It already is, to be honest. The scary thing about that is that if they're taking note from what we are coming out of, um, well, they're just not seeing, they're probably not going to see the bigger picture or the human flaws or lack, um, especially if management wasn't really, or leadership wasn't really doing their job. I can see this being a super huge problem, especially for that second Capricorn moon, where they're like, well, you just didn't do a good enough job. We're not going to refund this. This could be parents or, people in your life, and you just didn't do a good enough job. You need to do it over, or they're disappointed. They don't like what kind of work you do, or they wanted you to be a doctor. Meanwhile, you're like a painter or an artist or, you know, a guitarist or something. I don't know. This could be stuff like that, right? Where it's that opposition where, you know, people have expectations of you, but you're not their responsibility. Like it's not their responsibility to tell you how to live your life. It's up to you, and it's their job to support you, right? And these could be really uncomfortable topics that come up. Like you're not making it to stage two because I don't like the way you did that. We're not coming together as a family because I don't like that you're into spirituality and we're religious. I don't want to forgive you because you're gay, you're dating another guy or another girl, or stuff like this. Unfortunately, there's some opposition or disagreements. So you're not getting the throne, I'm not passing the torch to you because I don't like the way you know, do such and such. You never come on time. Um, you never bring enough food. There's everybody's finding out last minute, like you didn't set up the event properly, and uh, you know, it's just a lot of disappointment. All right. Maybe you didn't have enough support, and so you couldn't do something right, but you're still being judged on that. And people are going to hold you accountable, rather, like, it's almost as if, like, people may not be taking into account everything that it takes to do something that you're expected to do. And you're still going to not get a golden star because, regardless of what it took for you to do that, all they see is that you didn't show up. Right. And that's a harsh uh, judgment. And I don't think it's fair. And, you know, that could be hurtful. Right. And so, budgets and numbers don't just have to equate to a job or job numbers or, what's going on in the workplace. This could also be in your life in some way where things just aren't adding up because you don't have some kind of support, or um, you know, maybe you're not disciplined, or you don't have a set schedule, or you do things how you just want to do things, right? And so you're not being judged by people. You could be judging yourself, but more than likely, Saturn is saying, I need you to do a little bit better. Like you said, you was going to take care of your health. You're taking care of your health once a month. That's a everyday thing, and so stuff can happen in a way that's helps you reflect on these things that need to be done better, um, in any area of your life, right? And because Saturn is in Pisces, this can be our vision, faith, philosophy, our intentions. Intentions can be considered meditation. How are you intentionally meditating on how something is envisioned or being done? Or um, are you being intentional with your spiritual practices, what you pray for, and what you sacrifice to make your goals a reality? Um, It's going to bring these things up. And on the lower expression, you can feel emotionally blocked or discouraged. So look at delays. So it's going to be up to you to look at these kind of lower expressions of things that are coming in as lessons in disguise when we're talking about Pisces, right? This needed to happen so that I can see the truth about these people, even if it's something that's been going on forever. And you just been trying shit, can't work. Trying shit, don't work. Now it's gonna come to the light. You're gonna get some kind of clarity, like, oh, okay, I see how it is now, because you're being judged in some way, shape, or form. And you're gonna be like, all right. But it's not negative, all right. This is like, it had to happen that way in order for you to evolve and grow from whatever this is, because you're getting ready to move into something new or better. Um, way more fulfilling, way more fulfilling. Um, I just think whatever comes out of this is just, it's going to be so much more freer. We're talking about moving into a lifelong energy of a bunch of different air transits. And air alone, you can't touch air. This is pure freedom, right? So if you play your cards right, you build in and you're staying in alignment, you will start to flow in that alignment and energy of air, which is like, you can't tell me what to do, especially when you know you're in alignment and you're doing right by folks, and you're not, um, intentionally being rude or disrespectful. You're showing up for yourself and doing whatever you know it is that you're meant to do. This is pure freedom, bliss. It really doesn't get any better than this, despite all the other bullshit that's going to be going around, air energy is just like, you can't touch me. So yeah, get in the zone. Okay. Um, so look at delays as a time to rest, relax, retreat, and not as a denial that you weren't meant to do something. Um, do your reflecting, let things fall to the wayside, and just don't worry about it um, as much as you can, right? Because we're still human. So I feel like saying that can be like, my feelings is hurt, but and they will be. You will feel emotional about it, and rightfully so. As a human, that's human behavior. Cry, uh, you know, be in your feelings, feel it, and I don't know why. I just what just came to my mind. I was watching Aquaman the other day, and I was looking at the part where the mom, I think she was talking to the dad, Aquaman's dad, and Aquaman's mom were having a conversation, and they were crying. And she was like, when you're under the sea, you don't get to feel the emotions. And he was like, yeah, up here you do. You get to feel 'em, and you got to go through those motions. It's a very real reality for us. So I don't want to discount that could be a possibility, and it could be really sad, and there could be a lot of hurtful things that are coming up, but I do feel like you're getting over that. You're getting past that. And Saturn is at a 19 degree, and it will retrograde at this degree, which is a Libra degree. And so we can feel like we're letting go of our ideals, or fascinations or fantasies, unrealistic thoughts around Libra things. Especially because Libra is in the South Node. So she's already been going through a deep karmic releasing and letting go of these very same things. And now she's going to get some support for that. And so this can be things like relationships, things between two people, politics, politicians, public figures, justice, court trials, lawyers, things that are sweet. Indecisiveness, colors, ethics, beauty. I'm sorry, not ethics, aesthetics, beauty, art, paintings, physical touch, kissing, gifts, presents, ceremony, diplomacy, diplomats, and diplomatic behavior. We can feel like we're overcoming something and getting back on track at this time. Um, what's your plan to take care of whatever needs that you have right now? That's going to be the main focus and motivation. We can have a lot more compassion for the homeless, immigration, community efforts, and working together. Um, we're a little too closed off, and we got to heal and deal with whatever that is that's making us think like that, so that we can come together and do a little bit more and get these things done. There got to be a mindset change. Um, to really help each other, um, so that we can be able to do those types of things. Because we can complain all day, or we can do something about it and change. So it's really going to be up to everybody else. I think everybody else is going to do it anyways. To be honest, with these transits, you're not going to be able to ignore it. And again, this isn't about everybody having some kind of business. That last lady was just a blogger that I was referring to. She did not have a business. She just blogged. She only took calls because she realized what she did was so important that she gave advice and talked people through whatever situation they were coming up with. That's it. That's it. And she wasn't taking any money. It was all from the grace of her heart that she did those things. So If I say business or success and I use these kind of stories that might not be related to the things that you want to do, don't hold me to that. Um, you can create anything you want, however you want, as long as it is what makes your heart happy. It's bound to do the same for somebody else, right? We all have a story to tell, and we're going through shit that we wish we could change and want to help other people change. And, you know, so I can go on and on and on and on and on and on. But I think you guys get the picture. As usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.